Hey, Rio here. It is week 11. I know it is hard to believe for me as well. And I talked about last week kind of the hard reality that we were in, and now we've taken a new step. And when I say we, I mean the collective we in in California and specifically here in Fresno. So we are now under shelter in place mandate by the city, and only essential services are really being asked to be only the essential things to keep us running as a city and a state right now. So I hope no one in your life is being affected by Corona. The truth is, we are working on flattening the curve. We'll see if we're successful with that in the very near future. If we're successful, I think we'll start seeing those numbers reflect that in the coming weeks. So sheltering in place is a reality for us at City. That the intention is that next week we were going to, and we're still doing this, if you were in a face-to-face class, that instructor will now provide that instruction online. So I don't know how many of you are taking face-to-face classes, but if you are, I really hope you've heard from your instructors about the schedule. You probably hear another message this weekend. I've spent most of my week, honestly, training, discussing how we do this, because I've been doing it for a while. Of course, I'm somebody that was asked to step up, and I did, gratefully so, to help other people who haven't, and even people who have some experience, but just know they got to take it to the next level. So if you have any questions about the campus, there has not been an official announcement that would extend past the next couple of weeks. My feeling, this is just my feeling, is that we're going to be in online instruction for all classes for the rest of the semester. But please don't take that as a final word, because City will do that communication with you. And again, you all are already online, so it's not a big deal. And reading your responses last week to, how has this affected you? Seems like most of you were fine. So I hope this continues to be true. So for me and for us, last night you had your week 10 Learn Together due. And I graded the ones that were submitted today, and it was really fun for me to see. I hope it was mostly fun for you to do. I did notice I didn't have my normal amount of submissions, which made me wonder why. It could be just the assignment itself. It could be that your life was just upended and you didn't have time to do it. So for whatever reason, I'm going to extend that assignment into next week, so that if you didn't do week 10, you can still do it. Because by the way, week 10 you need to do week 11, because basically we're going to take that code that you wrote for week 10 and we're going to refactor it. Means basically rewrite it in, instead of regular function expressions, we're going to use arrow functions. And I think you also have you do one ternary operator, which is basically a logic, condition statement that is not using the if, but just uses a simple statement to do that. But those are the things you've learned in week 11. You're about to learn, if you haven't already, in week 11 lecture. Okay, so first, do you get that? So if you didn't, by the way, the other thing is, if I marked you off because you didn't get, because generally the only reason I marked students off last night was if their apps weren't working. So you do have some time now to get them working. And if you didn't do it, you have time to do that. So when I grade next week, Learn Together, which would be a week from last night, okay, this morning, then if you've done it, I'm going to give you both. And you can go ahead and submit for week 10 as well. I'm going to give you full points for that, because I don't know what happened. Matter of fact, I'd be kind of interested to hear, if you wouldn't mind replying, like, what happened if you didn't get the assignment done, if you don't mind sharing that. And if you want to reach out to me directly, that's fine as well. But here we are at week 11. coming into week 11. And we have this week, and then next week is our Dev 1. So I said in matter of fact, let me just kind of show you here. When I recorded week 11 Learn Together, one offer I gave up, not made up, I guess I made it up as well, was that, and this is just the calendar, right? So this just gives us a visual on what we're talking about here. That if for some reason in your life, right, that you, and again, I would say only take this offer if it really applies to you. If your life has been upended by the new reality we are living under, I'm going to give you until after spring break to get this Dev 1 done. But if it hasn't, commit to making this happen, and do your code reviews. I have added, and I'll just click here, I have added the link for the code reviews here so that you can go ahead and sign up. And here they are. Notice, and I'll talk about this in a minute, all are online, and they're going to be done through my Zoom setup. But I will tell you, if you really feel like it's important for you to meet with me face-to-face, we can totally work that out. Still practicing social distancing in this case, but just let me know and we'll figure that out. And these times I've just set up here based on what I thought might work. But if these hours don't work for you, please reach out to me as well, and I'll work with you on that. Okay. So I guess I can actually take location off. Well, actually, no, because we could talk. This might be an indicator for me for where. And actually, in this case, yeah. No, even meeting type, I guess. It's funny how things change, right? So anyway, that's in there. You can take a look at it. But coming back over here, here's the other thing I wanted you to know, is that from here forward, my office hours will be available for you to connect with me on Zoom. It's one of the things I've really learned this week, because I'd never really used Zoom before. I'd kind of glanced at it a couple times. But I've added between week 10 and week 11, just so you can clearly see it, connect with Rio. And in this case, right, starting Monday, whatever is my office hour, which, by the way, I decided to go ahead and list them so you'd have them. And here's a link. So in this case, if you just, and I would recommend, for sure, the sooner the better, you click into here and just see if your computer is ready to go. Now, mine will start up the Zoom session. Yours will try to get into the Zoom session. So you can even try this without me being in here yet, right? So you can still see me, right? So this is me in here. Wow, I just realized something. Oh no, it's okay. Anyway, so that link will get you into my Zoom, my personalized link for Zoom. So, and here's the other thing. I want you to know this. If you go to here and I'm not in there, I actually get an email telling me somebody's waiting. And I love that. It'll actually tell, so, it's okay to go in there and here's the other thing is, if my office hours don't work for your particular time, if I see you in there and I will come over and get in there myself. Now, of course, the intention is for me to be there during my office hours. But if you're just playing around and trying to get in there, or want to, ask me some questions and talk about maybe code from week 10, that'd be good. Then let's use Zoom. So I'm going to keep Hangouts for our chat sessions, but I'm going to be using Zoom from here on out for both my office hour and our code reviews. So the sooner you get used to Zoom, and I can tell you if you're taking other classes, you're going to see Zoom all over the place anyway. And there'll be instructors that there's different techniques to get into their Zoom. I'm using just a personal link one, but some of them will have it show up in Canvas. So anyway, so that's pretty much it for me this week. In your reply, you can reply to any of the topics that I've talked about. Mostly I talked about, right? Just the extension for week 10 learn together is into week 11. Why I've done that, any questions about that. I now have Zoom for my office hour. We'll be using it for code reviews and talking about Dev 1 and how if your life and you feel like you would just like to have maybe spring break to work on it, right, that reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Again, maybe a Zoom session here to make sure we're helping you, because I know that some of you, I'm guessing, have had major changes in your life. Okay? All right. I hope and send you great peace and presence in this time. I know for me, I've found a nice rhythm finally today. Still working out. I got a great run in today. Eating good, taking care of myself, being at home all the time. I still can walk outside because it's beautiful. Like today, it is gorgeous out there. So, peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Look forward to seeing you on Zoom first, or Zoom. Seeing you on Zoom soon. Maybe that's a new saying.